In Australia, we have a very unique situation. We have a democracy, but our democracy is a little different to most other democracies around the world. In America, they have a bit of a weird system, whereas in Australia, we've got a whole heap of different levels of government and the way that our government works. So the government that everyone knows about and that everyone in the world will hear about would be our federal government, who would be our federal government, and our current Prime Minister is a guy by the name of Malcolm Turnbull. And Malcolm Turnbull does a very good job, and people are elected to our federal government by us voting for individual representatives for each area. We do not vote for our Prime Minister, we vote for an individual representative, and when a certain party gets X number of representatives, I believe the number is something like 76, they naturally have a majority in the lower house of representatives and they form a government. And so that's how our federal government is formed. Our next level is our state governments. We have a number of states in Australia and we have a few territories, and they're a little bit different, but I live in New South Wales. And states work the same as the federal government. In New South Wales, our current Premier is Mr. Mike Baird, and he does a very good job in governing New South Wales, managing New South Wales's economy, our jobs, our growth, our education. And so that is the way our state government works. Our third level of government is local government, and that is exactly as it sounds. Each city area, for us, we're in the Lake Macquarie city, we have a local government which looks after just Lake Macquarie, our council, our designated area, and they govern over the needs for the area, roads, little things, development, houses. They govern over all the small things that are too minuscule for the state government to look after, or the federal government. And at the moment in Lake Macquarie, we have our local government elections. So right now, I'm going to ride down to our local polling booth and I'm going to vote. But before I vote, I'm going to talk to the people out the front and ask them, A, why they like politics, and B, why they think local government is important. So keep on watching if you enjoy politics, and if you also just want to learn a bit about the way our Australian political system works. And if you're a resident of the Lake Macquarie area, this video is for you. It might help you decide who you want to vote for. So I'm going to jump on my bike, put on my helmet, and I'm going to ride down to the polling booth, which is in Currumbong Community Services Centre in my area. Let's go. Question one is, what's so great about local government?
Yep. Local government is the interface between the community and politics in general. Local government is where the rubber really hits the road with respect to all local matters that affect people's daily lives. Local government can make representation to state government and in turn federal government, but it's where you get the intimacy between a candidate or a councillor or a mayor and people with their day-to-day real problems.
Awesome. And question two is, what's so great about politics in Australia? It's a really deep question.
It is. I think I take the tack, why do I think it's great? It gives the ability for people to represent their views in a non-threatening environment, put forward their viewpoint, and in a democratic process, should they get sufficient support, be put in a position where their views hopefully can be heard and help shape society into the future.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, hi, local government is an opportunity to reach the local residents of the entire area. It is an opportunity to contribute to the strategic direction of the entire city. It's an opportunity to contribute to making a city or a locality livable and vibrant, looking at how the economy can work with tourism, protecting the natural environment while allowing responsible development to go ahead for jobs and residences. It's a really exciting area of government because you really are part of it.
What's so great about politics in Australia? Big question.
That's a really big question. It's about free speech, it's about democracy. Politics in Australia can be anybody, anybody who has any background. It doesn't take great amounts of money. What you need is passion, and you need to really work hard to get in the position to be able to contribute to Australian politics. There are plenty of people who have got no party backing, who are indeed there for the people that they really care about. Party politics is complicated. I personally am an independent, and I feel that without influence I'm able to make the right decisions for my local community. Ultimately, politics in Australia is a democracy, and we're very lucky to have it.
So, first question is, what's so great about local government?
I guess it's where the local people first interact with politics. So it's for a lot of people, it's the old saying, all politics is local. I think that's very true. People's main concerns are about, their rubbish and their roads and their rates, is the old saying as well. And I think that's why local government is so important. It's there to give a voice to those people about how they want their communities to be shaped and built, and what type of community they want to live in. So that's why local government's really important in that regard. Well, I guess it might go a bit against current popular belief, but I think it's actually really quite congenial. In Australia, we actually don't have a whole lot of, a real viciousness in our polity. Yeah, sure, you see a lot of, shouting and stuff during a question time in federal parliament. But when it comes down to it, the candidates generally get on fairly well with each other. There isn't that kind of physicality to our politics, which is the case in some other countries. So, and also I like the fact that with with compulsory voting, the extreme edges of politics tend to be, smoothed out, so you don't get wild swings from left to right. It's sort of like this centrist government a lot of the time, and I think that's always really important for a country.
So that's some really interesting points. I'm going to go inside now, I'm going to vote. I'm not going to take the camera in there, but I'm going to go and do it with my democratic duty. Let's go and do it. So I voted. Let's go home and talk about what I just did. In Australia, with our compulsory voting, we often take for granted the power that we have in our vote. In America, so many people don't even consider voting, and that is something I find extremely sad. We have an excellent system here in Australia that gives us power and hands the voice of change to the people, directly into the hands of the people, whether they want to or not. We give people the keys for change. And that's something really important to understand. If you're someone that's cynical about politics, I want you to stop and think why. Why are you cynical? Why don't you like politics? Why don't you like having the power to vote? If it's not important to you, it may be time to stop and take stock of what government's maybe time to stop and take stock of what the government's policies really do to you. So guys, I plead with you, go and vote in your elections. If you're in the Lake Macquarie area, get out there and vote. Make sure your voice is heard. It should be heard. It's compulsory to be heard. But please go and make sure that your voice is heard in this local election, in any election. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the Pratt Nation and join this family of followers, of individuals that are all like-minded or different. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.